So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs in a very short span of time. Now, the idea behind this lecture series is that you get to cover your current affairs, but you don't have to spend your entire day just reading the newspaper. Therefore, we will cover all the important news items from that day's newspapers in very short span of time. Okay, the idea is to cover it quickly so that you're left with your entire day to cover other parts of your UPSC syllabus as well. Now, well, the thing is that just watching this lecture would be job half done, because just after watching it, you need to revise it as well. Why? Well, revision helps in consolidating these current affairs in your memory. Otherwise, you'll quickly forget them. Now, you can revise these current affairs from the notes provided by us, and these notes shall be shared on our Telegram platform. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section just below this video. Alright then, let's begin today's session. But first, let's take a look at the list of topics that we shall cover today. Alright, over to the lecture now. So, daily current affairs, 18th July for Friday. And here is the list of topics. So, number one topic on this list is Swachh Survekshan 2024-25. It is basically a survey and rankings. Basically, it is an award function between cities that have good sanitation and cleanliness parameters. Okay, they would be awarded in a function. So this is a survey to basically get information on the cleanliness and sanitation drive in different cities. So we'll talk about the results of 2024-25. Then TRF, the resistance front, which was responsible for Pahalgam terror attack, has been designated as foreign terrorist organization by USA, and it is a big development, a big diplomatic victory for India. How? We'll talk about this. Then we'll talk about the Druze community. Recently, Israel bombed Syria, and the reason that Israel gave for bombing Syria was protection of this minority community in Syria, that is the Druze community. So we'll talk about Druze community, and we'll also talk about why Israel is so interested in this. So it is an international relations related news. And in the end, we'll talk about Kerala's KITE initiative. Okay, this KITE initiative is related to AI in education. So it is a big topic. That is why we are discussing it. All right. So these are the four news items that we shall zero in our attention on. Let's start discussing them one by one, starting with topic number one, and that is Swachh Survekshan 2024-25. Now, you all know that this government is very serious about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, cleanliness drive. Now, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has two components. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Gramin, that is rural, and the other component is urban. Because urban areas also suffer from poor sanitation and cleanliness situation, right? Now, the thing is that government has taken so many efforts to clean our cities. But government knew that to achieve its goals, government has to develop this healthy competition among cities. And that is why from the very beginning, since 2016-17 onwards, government has been conducting this survey. And at the end of this survey, government awards the the most clean city. Okay, so it is basically a survey. Based on the findings of that survey, awards are given. Now, this is known as Swachh Survekshan mission, okay, or Swachh Survekshan initiative, basically cleanliness survey, okay, and this is for urban areas. Just remember this. Clear? Now, the 9th edition of this survey was, the report of that recently came out, and an award function was organized at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi, where President Draupadi Murmu awarded cities. Okay, so the top cities, the cities who have gotten awards, and these awards are of various categories. Okay, like category the cleanest city which has a population of more than 10 lakh, cleanest city which has a population of 5 lakh to 10 lakh, right? So there are various categories in which these awards are given, but multiple awards were given based on the results of this Swachh Survekshan mission or initiative. Okay, so what were the findings and the results of this mission? Let's talk about this. Okay, so Swachh Survekshan 2024-25. Now remember, this is the 9th edition of this initiative. Survekshan in Hindi means survey. Okay, this is the 9th edition, and well, Ahmedabad received the top award. Basically, it was the cleanest city of all the cities. Okay. Now, this survey is conducted by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, remember this part. So let's gather some information about this survey. So Ahmedabad, Bhopal and Lucknow emerged as top Swachh Shahar, clean cities. Okay, Ahmedabad was top, Bhopal second, Lucknow third. Then this survey is conducted by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and the award show is also conducted by them. Now, this was the 9th edition, as I've mentioned before. And as I've mentioned before, well, awards are given in various different categories. Different categories. Okay. That is why we follow this approach. One city, one award. Because there are multiple awards, so one city will get one award. Clear? So this is basically the approach for these awards. As you can see in this picture, cities that have a population of more than 1 lakh, rank 1 was Ahmedabad, 2 Bhopal, 3rd Lucknow. 3 to 10 lakh, Mira Bhayandar, Bilaspur, Jamshedpur. 50,000 to 3 lakh, Devas, Karhad, Karnal, and so on and so forth. In fact, there were many categories. The most clean Ganga town that lies on the banks of river Ganga, that was also given. The most clean cantonment area, army area, that award was also given. So there were multiple categories. These are just some of the categories. Okay, these are just 5 population wise categories. Okay, 5 population categories of Swachh Shahar. Now the thing is, based on the lines of Indian Premier League, the Cricket League or Kabaddi League or many other sports leagues, well, the government thought that the cities that have been doing well, not just this time, but for many years now, the top cities, top 20, 30 cities that have been consistently doing well, let's create a special league for them. Let's call it Swachh League. Okay, so this is it is basically a competition between these top cities. These top cities will have a separate competition. So along with Swachh Survekshan, this year they have also launched, well, Super Swachh League. Yeah, SSL, Super Swachh League. So just like there is a sports competition, okay, IPL, EPL, okay, Kabaddi Pro League. Similarly, Sanitation League is also there. Swachhata League is also there, okay, Super Swachh League. Now, this Super Swachh League was introduced this year only in this Swachh Survekshan vision initiative, Swachh Survekshan initiative, okay. So it was launched this year, 2024-25 introduced, okay, for cities scoring high consistently, okay. So for those cities which have gotten the tag of garbage free cities, okay, they have a good star rating also, 5-star, 7-star rating. They have good cleanliness, they have performed well on the cleanliness parameters. So those that have been performing well consistently, okay, those 20-30 cities would participate in this Super Swachh League, okay. And the competition is divided population wise. Clear? So as you can see on this picture, this is Super Swachh League 2024-25. So cities with more than 10 lakh population. So in this Super Swachh League, Indore performed well, Surat performed well, then 3 to 10 lakh, 50,000, so on and so forth. Clear? So this is a new initiative that has been launched in this league. Clear? This encourages healthy competition, and that is good. Because through competition, improvement happens. Government realized this way back, like 10 years before, that when you introduce healthy competition, well, because of that competitive spirit, well, cities try, or the administration tries to do well because they want to get an award, right? It improves their CV also, the people working in that administration. It improves their resume. So that is why it helps them in promotion and all these things as well. So that is why this healthy competition really works well. Clear? Now, what were the key highlights of this Swachh Survekshan 2024? Okay, so what were the key highlights? Well, because after this award ceremony, a report was also published. The findings of this Survekshan, this survey was published. Okay, so what were the key highlights? Rise of mid-tier cities. Cities like Bilaspur, Jamshedpur are outperforming metro cities on sanitation metrics. Okay, so this means that, well, this Swachhata Abhiyan has been decentralized. Okay, it is working in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities as well. Clear? Then scientific waste management. 12 cities earned 7-star rating, 22 cities secured 5-star garbage-free city certifications. So government awards garbage-free city certifications. And on those certificates, your star rating is there. So if you have done really well, you get 7-star, then 5-star, 3-star. Okay? Waste to wealth innovation. This basically promotes recycling. Okay? If you use garbage, waste, and using that garbage and waste as raw material to produce artistic useful products using garbage as raw material, then that would give rise to circular economy. What do you mean by circular economy? Well, you don't generate any waste. The waste that has been generated is recycled and reused. Okay, so, well, waste to wealth innovations were there. Peer mentorship model. That is a very good innovation which was seen this time. Okay, there are many cities who are performing well when it comes to Swachhata or cleanliness metrics, sanitation metrics. Now they have partnered with those cities which are not doing so well. So those cities which are not doing so well can learn from best performing cities. This is peer-to-peer learning. This has also happened. Clear? Then dump site remediation drive. Okay, so there are many dump sites where all the waste of the city gathers. Okay, that has to be remediated. So all these things are being done. Clear? These were the key highlights, and basically in these key highlights it was said that these things which I just mentioned, they are being performed really well. Clear? Now the thing is that if UPSC asks you a question that what is the significance of Swachh Survekshan? Okay, what is the importance? Because it has been running for 9 years now, more than 9 years, Swachh Survekshan. So what have been the benefits of this Survekshan? Because if it is beneficial, then only the government is continuing with it. So what have been the benefits of this Survekshan so far? So benefits. Urban transformation. Survey results indicate a shift in citizens' mindset. People's mindset have changed. Okay, from compliance to commitment. Then this new waste management economy has created jobs also where youth can be employed. Then benchmarking tool. The survey serves as a performance mirror, pushing cities to improve because now there is a healthy competition. Right? Then it also aligns with Vikasit Bharat vision. By 2047, we want to get the tag of developed nation, right? So it aligns well with that. Women and SHG management. So women-led groups and school campaigns played a key role in zero waste and segregation drives. So we can basically see that in this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we saw people's participation. So it was not only the job of the government to make their cities clean, people were also participating, especially women and self-help groups, SHGs. Clear? So these have been the benefits of this Swachh Survekshan. So if there is a question asking, mains type question, asking you about the benefits of Swachh Survekshan, now you know. Alright? Now let's quickly jump to second news item, and that is a very significant diplomatic victory for India, and that is TRF has been designated as FTO by USA, and FTO stands for Foreign Terrorist Organization. Now you look. Now see, listen to me carefully. The thing is that, well, the deadly Pahalgam terror attack happened on April 22nd, which was followed by Operation Sindoor, right? Now, when all of this was going on, Pakistan was really successful in its PR campaign. And what was its PR campaign? The thing is that TRF, the Resistance Front, okay, this terrorist organization conducted this terror attack. Just after the events, okay, just after this attack was carried out, okay, TRF took responsibility. The Resistance Front, this terrorist organization, took responsibility for this terror attack. But this terror attack was so brutal that it catched global attention. Everyone was horrified by the way this attack was carried out. And therefore, well, TRF thought, and Pakistan also thought, that, well, it won't be good for the publicity of TRF. People worldwide, the worldwide opinion would be anti-Pakistan, anti-TRF. If people get to know that this attack was carried out by TRF, which is affiliated to Pakistan. How? I'll tell you. Okay. So, well, TRF took responsibility for Pahalgam terror attack, and it is so funny that after 2 days, when there was global outrage, well, TRF said that our account was hacked and someone hacked our account. Indian agencies, Indian intelligence agencies, that was their allegation. Indian intelligence agencies hacked our account and posted this from our website. Okay, we didn't carry out this attack. Now, the thing is that for a few weeks, Pakistan was successful in convincing most of the world that, well, it was not a terror attack carried out by Pakistan. Pakistan was successful in convincing people that this attack has been carried out by locals, local Kashmiris, and these local Kashmiris are carrying out this attack because they are being suppressed by Indian government. So Pakistan was basically able to spread this propaganda. Okay, but the reality is that the resistance front, well, it is basically a proxy. It is basically an outfit of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now, everyone in the world knows that Lashkar-e-Taiba operates from Pakistan. In fact, people know that Lashkar-e-Taiba is basically getting support from Pakistan government and Pakistan military establishment. So much so that Lashkar-e-Taiba has been designated as a terrorist organization by United Nations. So it is a global terrorist organization. Therefore, Lashkar-e-Taiba created a separate organization called TRF, which was not banned or which was not designated as global terror organization, and it started carrying out these attacks from TRF. Okay, and Pakistan was able to convince the people that, well, TRF did not conduct this attack because they said that their account was hacked. Plus, this attack was carried out by some local Kashmiris, so it is an India issue. Okay, India is doing human rights violations in Kashmir, and that is why people have reacted. That's what Pakistan was saying. And this was quite successful from Pakistan's side for a few weeks. But recently, after, I'm sure, Indian government must have presented evidence to USA, USA has designated TRF as a terrorist organization, foreign terrorist organization. Plus, after designating it as a foreign terrorist organization, USA has also made it clear that it is an outfit of Lashkar-e-Taiba, what India has been saying for so long. Now, this is a big diplomatic victory for India because so far Pakistan was able to convince the world that TRF is not affiliated to us. Yes, Lashkar-e-Taiba is a terrorist organization, but TRF is not affiliated to us. But now, through this action of America, and America is the biggest power. When America says something in the world listens. So now that America has said that TRF is a terrorist organization, now India will be successful. Maybe, you never know. But India's chances of designating TRF as a UN sanctioned terrorist organization or a terrorist organization as per UN, the chances of that have now become bright, and this is a big victory for India. Okay, this was in the news. So we will talk about TRF. Okay, how did it come about? All this entire story we'll talk about it. Okay, so TRF designated as FTO by USA. Now look, this is the resistance front. These were most probably the 4 people who conducted this Pahalgam terror attack. And this is Hafiz Saeed, the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now the story is, and how was TRF, the resistance front, born? It's a fascinating story. You see, the thing is that Lashkar-e-Taiba has been conducting terror attacks in India for quite some time now. The most famous one was 26/11 attacks in Mumbai. Right? So Lashkar-e-Taiba has been conducting terror attacks in India. Now, because the activities of Lashkar-e-Taiba was brutal and severe in India, well, India was able to convince the world that Lashkar-e-Taiba is a terrorist organization. I mean, it didn't take much from India because everyone was able to see what Lashkar-e-Taiba was doing. Okay? So, the thing is, there was considerable pressure on Pakistan to take action against Lashkar-e-Taiba because it was known to the world that Lashkar-e-Taiba operates freely from Pakistan. Freely. In fact, well, it is clear also that Pakistan military establishment supports it, clearly supports it, finances it, trains its people. Everything is done by Pakistan military establishment. Therefore, well, the entire world united when it comes to Lashkar-e-Taiba, and it was designated as a terrorist organization. Now, there was considerable pressure on Pakistan to take action against this. Otherwise, Pakistan would be put in FATF, Financial Action Task Force's grey list. And Pakistan was put in FATF's grey list. Okay, this means that it was very difficult for Pakistan to get foreign funding, foreign loans from IMF, foreign investment, because Pakistan was in grey list, because Pakistan was not taking action against terror outfits. Clear? Therefore, Pakistan took some action against LET, but many people say that was just for show. Actually, Pakistan still supports LET, but there was global gaze, global eyes on LET. Plus, LET people, LET commanders were being like severely, or I should say, well, most of LET commanders were hunted down by Indian security forces and killed. Indian security forces by 2018, well, killed most of the top leadership of LET operating in Kashmir. So LET suffered huge losses in Kashmir Valley. Indian security forces did really well. Now, Pakistan wanted to avenge that, take revenge on that. But Pakistan and LET. But LET was already facing pressure from Pakistan, and Pakistan was facing pressure from global community through this FATF grey list. So LET couldn't do much. Okay, it wanted to take revenge, but it couldn't do much. Therefore, they came up with an idea. Let's create another organization called the Resistance Front. The thing is, the name the Resistance Front is not Islamic at all. As you can see, Lashkar-e-Toiba is an Islamic name. The Resistance Front is not an Islamic name. And this was done by design, because Pakistan wanted to show that this Resistance Front is a movement by local Kashmiris in India. It has nothing to do with Pakistan, and it has nothing to do with Islam, because global eyes on Islamist terrorism was there. Therefore, Pakistan gave it a secular name and said that they are fighting for their secular rights. They have nothing to do, they're not fighting for Islam, they're fighting for their Kashmiri rights. That was the reason why TRF was created by Lashkar-e-Toiba only. Most members of Lashkar-e-Toiba were working in TRF. Okay, so TRF and Lashkar-e-Toiba were one and the same thing. But India was not able to prove that to the world. Okay, India was not able to prove that to the world, and that is why we couldn't designate this TRF as a global terrorist organization. Though under Indian law it is designated as a global terrorist organization under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, but we couldn't do that globally. Then this Pahalgam attack happened, and TRF took responsibility. Later they retracted. Okay, now, well, Pakistan was partially able to convince the world that this is something that has been done by local Kashmiri terrorists. India just took the opportunity and attacked Pakistan. India took this unilateral aggressive step. Okay, and India was saying all along that no, we have retaliated against terrorism. These are terrorists. These are terrorists. Okay, but nothing happened. In fact, India tried to put TRF, or to basically push United Nations to designate TRF as a terrorist organization, but that did not happen. Now, USA has designated it as a foreign terrorist organization. And USA has clearly said that they were involved in Pahalgam terror attack and they are related to Lashkar-e-Toiba. Clear? USA has made it clear. Now, whoever is declared FTO by USA, well, US government takes active steps so as to cripple this organization. All financial institutions in USA, all people in USA are not allowed to deal with this foreign terrorist organization. Okay, USA keeps a watch on this foreign terrorist organization. So any group that has been designated as FTO will be under USA's radar. Okay, and now that USA has called it a terrorist organization and responsible for Pahalgam attack, and USA is the most powerful country, so it has a voice. Now it won't be very difficult for India to push for basically designating TRF as a terrorist organization by UN. And once this happens, then Pakistan has to take action against TRF also. Otherwise, this threat of grey list looms large. Right? This is the issue. Make sense? So this is the thing. So it is a major diplomatic victory for India. Clear? Now let's move on to third news item, and that is the Druze community. Okay. Now, what is the Druze community? We'll come to that. But recently what has happened is that, well, Israel has bombed certain areas of Syria. Okay. And the reason given by Israeli forces is that the government of Syria, or the dominant forces of Syria, well, they are basically attacking this community, this religious minority community called the Druze community. Okay, so to protect our Druze brothers, that's what Israel said. We are basically bombing the Islamist forces in Syria. Okay, though Syrian government has denied anything of that sort, but Israel attacked in the name of protecting Druze. Now the question is, who are these Druze people? Okay, do you know that Druze religion is the most secretive religion in the world? I'll tell you more about this religion. But for us, well, the question is, who are these Druze people and why is Israel so interested in them? Okay, so much so that Israel decided to attack Syria. Clear? It is already involved in a war-like situation, conflict-like situation in Gaza, with Iran, and now it opened another front. So why is Israel interested in protecting this Druze community? Let's talk about this. Okay. So yeah, the Druze community. So the thing is, you have to listen to me, okay? The thing is that, well, you need some background. You see, Syria has a peculiar situation which is completely opposite to Iraq, okay? Syria is majority Sunni, okay? It is a majority Sunni country, but its earlier leader, Bashar al-Assad, was a Shia. So Syria was a majority Sunni country whose a dictator was Shia. Okay, so there is some Shia Sunni animosity, okay, between these two communities in the Arab world. So that was one problem, that the majority Sunni population was not happy with a Shia leader, number one. The other thing is that, well, Bashar al-Assad was accused of human rights violation. Basically, he was accused of using chemical weapons on his own population. Okay, so it was alleged that he is guilty of serious human rights violations against his own people. Therefore, there was this rebellion by Sunni Islamist groups against Bashar al-Assad. Now, these Sunni Islamist groups were also affiliated to Al-Qaeda. We all know about Al-Qaeda, the most dreaded terrorist organization in the world, right? And ISIS also. ISIS was also the most dreaded terrorist organization. So these Sunni Islamist groups, well, they rebelled against Bashar al-Assad. And because Bashar al-Assad was guilty of torturing his own population, many Western countries, because Bashar al-Assad was allied with Iran and Russia, so America and many European countries, they favored these Sunni Islamist groups against Assad. Okay? And, well, all of this happened. Well, these Sunni Islamist groups, well, their leader was al-Shara. Okay? Now what happened? The thing is that, well, recently Bashar al-Assad was defeated by these Sunni Islamist forces, by al-Shara. They defeated Assad. Assad had to flee, and these Sunni Islamist forces have captured power, okay, under al-Shara. Al-Shara is the new president of Syria. Al-Shara has promised that all minorities in Syria, Shias, and many other religious minorities in Syria would be protected. Don't think that we Sunni Islamists have come to power, so we'll torture everyone or we'll trouble everyone. Okay? Though Al-Shara has promised that, but his forces maybe are not listening to him and they are attacking religious minorities. Clear? So this is the context. Clear? Now, you understand this context? Now one more thing. Well, when these Sunni Islamist groups, under al-Shara. They were fighting in the Syrian civil war. This is known as Syrian civil war. Okay, the forces that were, al-Shara forces, the Sunni Islamist forces, well, they were supported by most Sunni Islamists. Okay, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Saudi Arabia also, and some Western powers also. He was supported by them. Clear? Assad, well, he got the support of Shias. Okay, he had the support of Hezbollah also. Okay, he had the support of Iran, Russia. And there is this another minority community which is non-Muslim in Syria, which is known as the Druze. Their militias also supported Assad in their fight against al-Shara forces. Now, al-Shara forces have become victorious and they have now captured Syria. Though al-Shara has promised that he will protect all the other minorities, Shias, the Druze. But there have been instances of these Sunni Islamist forces attacking Shias and the Druze. Clear? So, Druze militias have been fighting against the forces of al-Shara which are now in power. In this context, Israel bombed Syria, saying that we want to protect these Druze people. Clear? So, this is the context. Now, let's talk about this mysterious religion called the Druze. So, basically, who are Druze? So, this Druze community is basically an Arabic community. They have been traditionally Arabic. They are Arabic people. Okay, but they do not follow Islam. Okay, their religion is called Druze. They are different. Clear? In fact, this religion emerged from Shia Islam. It is said that it has its roots in Shia Islam, but it is now very different from Islam. Okay, the people, the Druze community do not consider them as Islamic, and Islamic people, Muslims, also do not consider them as Muslims. They don't even consider them as a sect of Islam. They are different. It is a different religion. Druze also say that we have a different religion. And what makes them different? Though they are Arabic, okay, but they are different from Islam in a sense that in their religion they have a belief in reincarnation, which is kind of not permissible in Islam. If you are a Muslim, you cannot believe in reincarnation. They do. In their community, the status of women is a little more elevated than, well, as per traditional Islamic law that is followed in Arabic world. Then, in Islam, conversion is allowed. Okay, in Islam, it is allowed that you can basically it is your duty to tell others and convince others to join Islam, right? Yes, a Muslim cannot join any other religion apart from Islam. If you're a Muslim, then you cannot join out of Islam, but others should be allowed to join Islam. That is the whole idea of Islam, right? Well, Druze do not allow that. Druze do not allow any conversion within or outside their religion. Nobody is allowed to get converted to Druze, and Druze people are not allowed to get converted to other religions. Okay, so they don't allow any conversions. Plus, it is the most secretive religion. Most of its teachings, most of its practices are kept secret. Only by some clerics, some religious elite called ukul, the learned people in Arabic, okay? They are aware of their religious teachings. No outsider is allowed to know what do they do, what do they practice, what is their temple worship and all. Nothing. They are very secretive. Okay? Now, these Druze militias have been saying that, well, we don't feel protected under this new al-Shara Syria or Syria of al-Shara. Okay? Now, these four features are as far as the religious beliefs of, Druze are concerned. Now, let's talk about their population distribution. Okay? So, Druze basically are around 9 lakh in total. And they are spread in 3 countries. Syria, majority of them are in Syria, some of them are in Lebanon, and some of them are in Israel. Clear? So, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, as you can see on this map. Okay? basically it is said that the Druze community is concentrated in this tri-junction area between Syria, Israel and, well, Lebanon. Clear? Now, the thing is that, well, the Druze, well, they are very, in a sense, they have good relationship with Israel. Now we'll come to that why Israel is interested in this, okay? But this is the geographical spread. Majority are in Syria, some in Israel, some in Lebanon. Clear? Make sense? Now, this is the picture of al-Shara, the new president. And this was Bashar al-Assad, now exiled. Clear? They have been fighting for quite some time. Now, what is Israel's angle? Why is Israel interested in this area? Clear? Well, if you go back to this map, okay, now Israel thinks that if there is any Islamist organization in southern Syria, okay, if there are any Islamist forces in southern Syria, well, these Islamist forces will use this area of southern Syria, okay, South Syria. They will use this South Syria region as launch pad for attacking Israel, okay, because many Islamist forces in the past, including Hezbollah, have used this area as launch pad for conducting strikes in Israel. So Israel considers this area to be sensitive from its security point of view, and Israel has always asked for demilitarization of this area. This area should be demilitarized. Now the thing is, because of the fight between Druze and al-Shara forces, many al-Shara forces have entered South Syria, and these al-Shara forces are Islamist. So Israel is fearful that if these al-Shara forces take hold in South Syria, they might launch attacks in Israel. So Israel wants it to be demilitarized. And the second reason that Israel has given is that this South Syria is full of Druze people and we need to protect them. Clear? So Israel has long sought to create a demilitarized zone in southern Syria. Israel is extremely wary of buildup of hostile Islamist forces like al-Shara in South Syria. Then why is Israel interested in Druze? Because there are some Druze people who are in Israel. Now, Druze form 1% of Israel's total population, but they are extremely powerful politically there. Many of these members of Druze community have attained high positions in bureaucracy, military and political leadership. So they are influential. Plus, the reason why Druze people are loyal to Israel is because they have a history of being persecuted by Muslims since 11th century. Okay? So as they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So, well, they have a history of being persecuted by Islamist forces. So that is why they have allied themselves with Druze people, Israeli people. That is the reason. Clear? That's about it. And now let's quickly shift our focus to Kerala's KITE initiative. Now listen to me carefully. You see, the thing is that with the resurgence of AI, okay, well, it is said that AI should be used in every field. One such field is education, because AI in education holds huge promise. It can really improve learning outcomes, okay? But AI in education can also create problems. So there are benefits, but there are some issues also, okay? Therefore, the need of the hour is to ethically integrate AI into education. Otherwise, these problems would be more than the benefits. The problems would outweigh the benefits, right? Now, many experiments have been conducted all over India as well as all over the world when it comes to AI in education. Okay. Now, in all those experiments, in some of those experiments, these problems have outweighed benefits. But in some of these experiments, well, the problems have been pushed down to a minimum, and benefits have increased. Okay. Now, one such experiment where AI was ethically integrated with education, one such experiment is Kerala's KITE experiment or KITE initiative. So much so that both UNESCO and UNICEF have praised Kerala's KITE initiative for ethically integrating AI into education. Make sense? Okay. So that is why it was in the news. Clear? So let's talk about it. So Kerala's KITE initiative. KITE stands for Kerala Infrastructure and Technical Education, something like that. You can see the full form. I might be wrong as far as the full form is concerned, but full form is there in your notes. Now, before knowing what KITE initiative is all about, first let's talk about the benefits and the disadvantages of AI in education. So first of all, what are the benefits? So well, AI can help in personalized learning, okay, increase teacher efficiency because teachers have to they have to do some redundant work also, check copies, evaluate answer sheets, make notes. All of this can be done by AI now. So it will improve teacher efficiency. Plus, data on student performance can be collected, and using AI, the best possible course of action for that particular student can be made. Okay, this is known as data-driven insights into learning outcomes. Plus, using AI, using ChatGPT and many other types of softwares, okay, you can create smart content, engaging content for teaching students. So this is one advantage. Plus, with the help of chatbots, well, students can resolve their doubts or seek assistance 24/7. They don't have to depend on their teacher because teacher would be available only for fixed hours. This 24/7 chatbot would be available throughout the day. Whenever you have a doubt, you can ask it. So 24/7 learning support through chatbots and many advantages. But there are some disadvantages also. What are those disadvantages? Well, algorithmic bias. Some AIs, some chatbots, okay, like ChatGPT, are known to give wrong answers, and sometimes they also give immoral answers which are not good for children. So you have to be careful. And those wrong answers or immoral answers, okay, well, that is because of algorithmic bias. Because recently, well, Elon Musk's AI, Grok, well, when it was asked a question, it started praising Hitler. Now, Hitler is the biggest villain in history. It started praising Hitler. Now, you can't teach that to students, right? So, this is a problem. Then this AI would also collect data of students. Now, this data has to be held private. Data misuse shouldn't happen. It needs to be protected. Data privacy is a big concern. Any random hacker can hack that data and steal that data and sell it in the market. That is a problem. Okay. Then, well, if ChatGPT, and we are seeing this already, students are relying too much on ChatGPT. And because they are relying too much on ChatGPT, well, their own brain is not getting developed. Okay, it is over-reliance on technology. You're not learning or absorbing the knowledge. You're just using ChatGPT to, well, do your homework and all that. So, over-reliance on technology is problematic. Dehumanized learning. Human to human interaction is very important in learning. Teacher to student interaction is very important. But AI can cause dehumanized learning. That is a problem. Now, ethical integration of AI in education means that you resolve all these problems and increase the benefits. So you push the problems to the minimum and enhance the benefits. Now, this was somehow done by Kerala's KITE initiative. Now, what were the basically key highlights of Kerala's KITE initiative? Okay, mass teacher training. It trained 80,000 plus teachers in how to use AI so that privacy concerns, algorithmic bias, these concerns can be eliminated. So teachers would be trained to give proper prompt in the ChatGPT and many. Basically, teachers should be trained as to how to ethically use AI. Okay, free and open source software was there, so anyone can use it. Samagra Plus AI platform, Kerala's own RAG based AI engine. So Kerala had its own AI engine. Okay, student-centric, innovation, data sovereignty, bias resistance. So algorithmic bias through technology was reduced, and data sovereignty, data privacy. Data collected of students cannot be used without the consent of their parents or the students themselves. So these things were ensured. So much so that UNICEF and UNESCO praised them. Clear? So this is Kerala's KITE initiative, and with that we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. I'm sure about it. But it would add more value if you're consistent and regular with this lecture series, and you do not forget to revise this lecture from the notes that are shared on our Telegram channel. So please do not forget to do that. And I'll see you next time with another set of news items. Thank you, everyone.